All right, and we're powered on. And we're going live here for the broadcast. And we're live. Yes, Jeff.
Hi.
You guys, I'm so pumped. I have a person here that I'm a huge fan of. I love all your artwork and your community engagement and just your personality. Your vibe is just so awesome, Jeff. This is Jeff Skomsky, right? Skomsky.
Close.
From the West Bend area, West Bend, Wisconsin. Is that where you grew up?
Since about the third grade, I've been in West Bend or Washington County. I was born in the Falls, and then at Community Memorial, then was there for until about second grade, and came out to Washington County.
And then you've been here ever since.
Yeah, I lived in Germantown for a couple years, but I have family out here, so I was always out here, essentially.
Yes, and now you have a beautiful wife here.
Nicole,
who I'm sure is going to be tuning in at some point and cheering you on.
Absolutely.
She's probably your biggest cheerleader, hey, with all of you, and your mom.
Yeah, my mom, my wife, and my mother-in-law. It's like a big trifecta of positivity.
Oh my gosh, that makes all the difference, doesn't it, Jeff?
Uh-huh.
I mean, your vibe, you're only as strong as your team.
Absolutely.
And that is a great team, especially when you're blazing trails like you are.
I'm trying. I like to keep pushing the envelope as far as I can.
I love that. So for those of you who don't know, we have on display some of his beautiful artwork that you've got like your own vibe to it. Like, where do you draw your inspiration? Like, walk me through the process. I know you paint every day.
Yeah, it's actually really funny because it all started when I was younger. I just needed a good outlet for just life, and I wasn't the best in school, not purposefully, but it just didn't click the best, I guess. So art, I always excelled in, and then my art style kind of came from when Rock Band came out, or Guitar Hero Metallica, and they had a Tool song in there, and Alex Gray, the artist, I saw it, and they had the animation of all the eyes kind of spiraling up, and I'm like, that's so cool. I want to do that one day. And essentially that's what kind of got me into drawing cosmic themed, really out there type artwork. And I play drums too, and I like to think it's like rhythm of color on canvas,
Ooh, I like that rhythm of color on canvas. Yeah, because most of it, I've been noticing that most of your work is very vibrant. There's a lot of use of colors, and there's a lot of line work too.
Yeah, absolutely. I like to make different rhythms with colors, especially when I can use the same color but different shades, and you can make patterns out of it, and the end product of it is usually really cool. And artwork has taught me when I'm like halfway through a piece and I'm not sure if it's gonna be a banger, or if it's where I'm unsure, do I keep going? After I taught myself, it's believe in yourself and keep going with it. All of a sudden the end product, you'll know when you're done, and at the end of it all, it's really rewarding. And it just taught me to believe in myself, because if you don't believe in yourself, nobody will believe in you. So
wow. And that came through the art.
Yeah, essentially, it's just positivity and reassurance of just let's go, let's do it.
You can do it. Finish it strong. Is there ever a point where you've abandoned pieces and you're like, no, I just can't? Or is it really like a good practice to kind of see it through?
When I was before art, I found to be my most strong suiting talent or hobby. Yeah, I would abandon pieces because I'd be like, I don't know. And it was really before I established my style, or what kind of tells people it's my, when people know what makes it my own, I guess.
Yeah.
Before I established that, I abandoned not a lot of pieces, but I would get to a point where I'm kind of like, I don't know.
You just weren't vibing with it.
Yeah.
Anymore.
But now if I start something, I always finish it.
Because you have that confidence, right? And that took
Yes,
practice, and that take time and perseverance.
absolutely. And well, now I'm doing a lot of commission pieces too for people, and it helps a lot when I know that people, not only want to see my art in a daily basis up in their home, but it gives you a confidence of, people like what I'm doing, and it's very, very rewarding.
Yeah, they're like to. So, what does that mean to be? If I were to commission a piece from you, what does that look like?
Um, I will paint anything you want. I can do,
Anything?
I mean, to an extent.
Okay, like
um, I can do like portraits and stuff, but like, typically people have an idea that my art is more cartoony, not like, don't expect a identical portrait,
right.
but I have been, my most popular request recently has been pets, dogs, cats. I've done, one guy had me do 6 horror film canvases, and it's pretty cool when it's thematic like that. um but ultimately, yeah, I like to put my spin on almost anything, to an extent.
Yeah, because well, they're coming to you. Your vibe attracts your tribe. Like they're coming to you to commission a piece because they like your style. So it's cool to like kind of get in your. It's like a little piece of your brain.
A little
Like,
bit. But yeah, it's really rewarding that people now, come to me and they, I want this. And I'm like, I get flattered because about, I don't know, a year ago, I never thought I could sell my art. And my mother in law said, you should do this. And that's what started the fire.
did it before your mother-in-law? What's her name?
Kathy.
Before your sweetest mother-in-law, Kathy, was like, "Hey, you should sell this." Did that thought like occur to you, or was it really like something you enjoyed doing and giving to people? Like, I just did. It was like a light switch. Or like, how
Um,
did I just wanted to get in your
it
brain a little bit on that?
pretty much, she brought it up in conversation one day because all the before I was making my art prominently on my free time, I was making music at the time, and I have a lot of, not a lot of hobbies, but a good amount of
Well, it's
hobbies.
good to have good
And
hobbies.
so I was pretty much trying to lock in what I'm best at ultimately. And once I started drawing more, 'cause it was just when I started dating my now wife, Nicole. Um, she also was like, "You're really good at drawing," and all of a sudden I started doing that a lot more. And then I started bringing my artwork around her family, and her family then, my mother-in-law, she was like, "You should try selling this." And in a way, I kind of giggled at the time. I'm like, "Yeah, right," and now I look back and where I am now, and I'm just very, very surprised and grateful, and all the opportunities and all the wonderful people I've met in the 7 months I've been doing this. I never would have thought that life could be so awesome.
Well, you're living your truth. You're sharing your gifts and have such a wonderful creative outlet and can make money while you're doing it.
Yeah, I mean, I did a lot of murals around Washington County. My first mural was in Milwaukee on Farwell at a vape shop called Glass House, and it's on Farwell on the east side. And that was my, he kind of, I shot in the dark, honestly, seeing if he'd have any form of interest in any art. And he told me to come to his store, and then he was like, "How do you feel about doing a mural?" And I've never even crossed my mind, honestly. So I was like, "Sure, let's do it." And from then, that point on, it was kind of like I took a week off for that for my job, and I went back to work a week later, and I made it to Wednesday, and I quit. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go, well, with my wife's blessing. Obviously, we have a house. So I'm like, I took a chance, and what really solidified it, the day she gave me her blessing, we, for lunch at work, stopped at this Chinese restaurant. Oh, so good. Anyways, I got a fortune cookie, and it said you're gonna go on a wild, life journey. And I'm like, all right, I jumped ship. So, it, even though it was very, very scary and nerve wracking going and telling my boss and whoever, I'm done.
What were you doing at the time? Where were you working?
I I was delivering appliances at Bergman's Appliance and Slinger, and don't get me wrong, the owner of it, he treated me very, very well. It was more so who I had to work with on a daily basis that made it very difficult. But he was a very good boss.
I love Bergman's.
Yes,
Best service, hand down.
he was a very good boss, and he did me a lot of favors, and he did me very well. And whoever,
so a mentor at some point.
yeah, and whoever works there, they're very lucky to have such a wonderful boss.
Aw. What's his name?
Ed.
Shout out to Ed for putting in the good work. Bergman's has been around forever.
Absolutely.
I feel like since I've lived here.
And it's really cool seeing a family business thrive. And
is it family there?
Yeah. So his father, I'm not sure if he started the company, and then two Bergmans now took over it after his father unfortunately passed years ago. Mm-hmm. But it's a family business, and it's small business, and it's local, which is even better.
Yes.
And I love that.
I do too, but I love that you had the gumption, the gusto, and the support to be able to say, I'm going to lean into this and go on the wild adventure that the fortune cookie that foretold. Talk about divine intervention, Jeff. Do you believe in all that? Kind of hard not to.
Honestly, I had one coworker, his name's Carl, and he sparked my faith in Jesus. And don't get me wrong, I don't go to church on a weekly basis or anything, but I pray all the time. And he kind of sparked that interest in me. And after I took this leap of faith, I just lay all of my hope and manifestation in, who's ever just out there watching me, and I pray a lot, and that is you got to be the change you want to see in the world. So just doing good things and trying to be the best person I can. And, pretty much I feel like, yes, there is divine intervention. And I pray. I'll be in the store and I'll be talking to myself or, about what I'm praying for. And sometimes I'll forget that I'm talking out loud and I'll be around people and they're just like, this dude's off his rocker,
just talking with Jesus, we got a good line of communication.
But I get very, very grateful for every single day that I get to chase my dream.
Wow. Well, yeah, glory be to God and that he gave you such wonderful gifts. It sounds like, not even artistry, but music and mechanically, and you help me with my microphone, and my goodness, it's awesome. So, okay, so I don't want to stray too far away from the art so you did the mural.
Yeah.
And you're like, this feels really good.
Yeah. And once I figured out I can make money doing that, I decided to really push the envelope and see how far I can push it. And from there, I did a mural at the Washington County Humane Society. And
really?
Yeah. It was such a good time, and I almost left with a Rottweiler.
How could you not, right?
Oh, so I asked, I'm like, do you guys have any Rottweilers? We actually do. So I took a break that one day. I could have easily been done in a single day, but I wanted to go back because I just like being there. And they had it was like 100-pound, 12-month-old Rottweiler, and a thing was gorgeous, but I couldn't afford another dog. We already have one pit bull mastiff mix, and
a pit bull mastiff.
Yeah.
How many pounds is?
I think like 80.
Wow.
He's a lap dog too, but he is just a bundle of joy.
Oh my goodness, what's his name?
Hercules.
Hercules. Wait, no. Hercules. Okay, sorry, I had to do it.
No, absolutely. Like 3/5 of the time I tell people Hercules, they do the same thing. It's awesome. Then I have a cat. We took bets on it actually at Thanksgiving, how much she weighs. And 17 pounds. She's a big girl.
Yes, she is.
Sometimes I'll be driving and if I see a raccoon on the side of the road, I think my cat got out.
Does she look like a raccoon?
She has the size of a raccoon, yes, and some of the same color palette too. But her name's Autumn. She's usually a pretty good cat. Until she wants to be fed, and then she'll knock things over. Make it very apparent she's hungry.
Yeah, that sounds like me. Hanger is a real thing.
Me too.
Even for the fur babies.
And then from there, because I was able to get in the newspaper for it, which is pretty sweet, which I'd never expected. And then the same thing on TMJ4, which I got that phone call for the mural at the Humane Society, and it was like 7:30 in the morning, and I go to bed late, wake up early typically, because that's just how my brain is. I don't really sleep that much. I'm always on like, let's go, do some work, something. And I got a phone call from this weird number, and I'm like, hello, and it was, hey, this is so and so from TMJ4. How are you? And I'm like, my first thing was, is this a joke? It wasn't. So that was pretty cool. And when that happened, shortly after the Humane Society mural, I got really lucky, and I did a mural at the Chill and Fill in Slinger. And that was shortly after the Humane Society. A lot of fun. And then we did the article thing for the TMJ4, and then pretty much I just started making random phone calls and sending random messages, and I did a whole slew of murals at the Sacred Garden in the town of Polk. So it's kind of like right behind the Humane Society. And unfortunately, semi-recently, they suffered a fire at their establishment, which I really hope that they're able to come out of that and thrive, because they have some of the coolest sage and accessories of that nature, stones. Dave, he runs it. He does all the wire wrapping. So cool, and it's a very good energy there. I did a whole slew of murals there. That was a really fun time. Another cool one I did in Barton, in her window. Another gem shop. It's called the Wonderland.
Love
Yep.
her.
If you
Alice in Wonderland.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
If you're going down Barton Avenue towards the water, right before the bridge is her facility, or her store on the right hand side, and she's awesome too. I did a big mural at the Threshold, and that was like a butterfly metamorphosis. Super fun. Tales and Trails in Kewaskum. That was a good time. It was like really warm. It was part of summer, and it was on their big fence line when you pull in. And it was my first experience painting fence, like actual wood like that. So it took some getting used to. I had to go and sand it down after figuring it out, and then I was using thick acrylic paint, which eventually, once I got used to watering it down properly and getting that perfect ratio, it made it a lot easier. So that was fun. And then I did a mural after that, the Big Brother Big Sister. That was a good time. So they got a new rec center. A lot of nonprofit work in the community. Casa Guadalupe, I did 3 murals there.
Oh, see.
Yeah, and they're the most welcoming, loving people I've ever met in my life, and they've given me so much opportunity.
¿Tú hablas español?
A little bit.
Poquito?
They let me live paint at Fiesta Latina this summer. That was a lot of fun. I was able to auction off the canvases I painted for them, and we were able to raise almost $400 for their organization, and that made me very happy. Um, right now, I'm also volunteering my time every week, Wednesday, for a paint kids class and teaching kids how to, well, make art an outlet and kind of, one day you can do what I'm doing. And
Wow.
it's super cool. It's so fun giving back and just being able to give what I'm good at to the community and have, whoever wants to run with it. I did a mural at um, the Youth and Family Project. That's another really fun mural I did. Um, it was really wild. I had counseling there when I was a kid because my mom lives a couple houses down. And, so it was kind of a full circle type thing. And my latest, biggest murals that I've did recently, I got very blessed. I made random phone calls, and one of them being Loch Lorraine Park in West Bend. And now, it was about a couple weeks later, I was at my buddy's house and I got a phone call and it was Loch Lorraine. And they were asking me about, you know, I called about a mural and they're like, so you want to come do a mural? I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
So I went there and I eventually became really good friends with her name's Courtney, and she works for the Parks and Rec department. And so the city they hired me to do the murals at Loch Lorraine Park, which it was a dream of mine to work with the city of West Bend, and it's so amazing when dreams can come true and when it just falls in your lap like that.
Mm.
And
Attracting, not chasing.
manifesting, I just want to do the best I can for my family and myself, and just try to take life by the horns. And then I got, after so many murals, and the town's only so big, I ran out of walls to paint. So then I had to figure out, things to do because they're always coming. So I started doing paint and sip type classes, whether they're non-alcoholic, alcoholic, whatever is fitting for the facility. I don't drink personally, but everyone.
Ever? Have you ever drank?
Yeah, I just stopped. I had a unpleasant experience, and I don't know. I got drugged at a bar one time, and since that point, I just stopped drinking. So, pretty much that's that. And since I stopped, though, life's been really good. And
How long has it been since you quit drinking?
it was right before the Humane Society mural, so it was April maybe.
Okay. So coming up on a year, pretty, well.
Yeah, and ultimately, it was really easy to do, and now I mean, I didn't have a problem or anything, but
No.
like, I just noticed my body, even from periodic drinking. Now I don't at all. My body just feels like a gold mine. It's amazing.
A gold mine. Yeah.
But
yeah, you don't miss those hangovers, right?
Oh yeah, and
Woof.
even still, that was more of a in my 20s type thing. I'm 31 now, and it's not very appealing, and it's unsafe to be drinking and driving. And I'm more of a homebody now, especially when I have a loving wife. We have we don't have any kids, but we have our pets.
Fur babies.
Exactly. So there's so much at home, and there's way too much to lose, and especially with anyone, it's just not worth it. But and then my latest and greatest accomplishment for murals was the city got a hold of me again, and I was off my rocker because I was just so excited when the library in West Bend got the flooding we had, which bless everyone who was affected by that. I know a lot of people were. They had flooding in the basement of the library, and it's a dance studio down there in a big rec area. And I didn't even know that until I had the meeting with Ryan from Parks and Rec. pretty much they had me do a big, it's a 4x8 mural. And originally it was going to be in the sky, the city of West Bend Parks and Recreation in all different blues in the tower, like the logo. And then in the not sky portion of it, it was going to be a tree, some dancers, because it's a dance studio type thing. And then I was also going to make the sky like a geometric pattern type thing with a whole bunch of different blues and lines. And but instead, we settled on just the sky portion where it's the Parks and Recreation logo, but my interpretation of it.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was able to do that, and it was so cool. And winter was just starting, so it was really neat that I could, be working inside on a really nice wall. Because believe it or not, if you have a really nice wall and it's very clean, it's not all full of gunk or whatever, it makes painting on it a lot more enjoyable, easy, and it just looks, it turns out a lot better. So it was a perfect canvas and perfect way to start the frigid cold season. But it sounds like, crossing all my fingers and toes, it sounds like early 26, I'll have a stairwell to do at the library as well. And I'm like super excited, and I can't believe it. But yeah, that's all the murals I've done, I think.
Well, that is quite the start in the short amount of time that you've been doing it. It just seems like, yeah, you've been attracting things and not chasing it. And new doorways are opening up for you. Congratulations,
Thank
Jeff.
you. I really
It's
appreciate
really
it.
exciting.
And
murals, you're not a one trick. I mean, not to say that murals are a trick, but
sorry.
I feel like
that's
not all you do.
Yeah. Sorry.
No worries.
Yeah,
show me. Is this the first skateboard you've done?
Yeah. So
Whoa. Do you skate?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. So since you've been little, or?
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. I've had a couple of good falls, and I've broken some bones, but.
Oh, broken bones.
Oh,
not me too.
The most wild thing was I broke my dominant wrist skateboarding, and for about 2 years I was all of a sudden right-handed, because I'm left-handed originally. So I had to figure out how to write and everything with my right hand. But then after going to the gym for a couple of years, the dumbbell weights helped me strengthen my wrist, and now it's like, I mean, when it's cold outside I can notice it a little bit, but I'm very grateful, because I thought I was going to be right-handed forever.
Do you paint left? You're southpaw? Yeah. Me too.
Sweet. I paint with my left hand, but I play guitar and drums and bass with my right dominant, and then I golf left-handed. I also skateboard lefty, so goofy.
Can you do cool tricks? Like, can you ollie and nollie and grind?
So I was on TMJ4 twice. Once through the Humane Society, and then this was recently, in October, for the new skate park. Pretty much one of my buddies from way back when gave the same guy that interviewed me for the Humane Society thing my number, and he called me, and all of a sudden one morning, it was right after the wedding, we were going to go do the name change for my wife in West Bend. We're driving from Jackson, because we live in Jackson, and so-and-so from TNJ4 came up on my voicemail. I'm like, what? Hey, you want to do an interview for the skate park? And I'm like, yeah. So I was able to skateboard, and it got on the news. That was pretty cool. Yeah. That's awesome. I kind of forgot about it, honestly, until we're talking about it. But no, I love skateboarding still. I mean, I have to be careful because we have a mortgage and stuff, and I don't think it hurts. You don't bounce like you used to when you're little, right? I don't think the mortgage company would understand, So I met a guy out of Milwaukee, and he started a board company called Legendary Skateboards, and legendary as in milk. So he ended up having me design this graphic, and the company bought it from me. and then they made 50 of these boards, printed them all, and they come in plastic, brand new cellophane. Like this one's purple. Purple's my favorite color. But they're all different colors, different sizes. It's really cool. And then, yeah.
Oh, I see that. Yeah, legendary.
Yeah. And
with the dairy.
absolutely. And it's
Killa B.
Yep.
1026.
Yep, that's my Instagram handle is KillaB1026. Follow me.
Please do. Yeah, go follow this guy. You are like on fire right now, man.
When I first started, I was trying to make a cool business name, and I came up with the Dude Incorporated.
Is that from like The Dude?
Well, kind of, but like not exactly, but like growing up, my dad showed me the Big Lebowski. That's been our like inside joke forever now, because Jeff Briggs, and in the movie he's also Jeff, and like, the dude. So, but it's funny. So I made like that name, the Dude Incorporated, and I was so like ecstatic about it. It just hit in all cylinders. But then over time went on, now I don't even use it anymore. I've got so far just using my own name that like I don't want to like keep switching gears, and confusing people. So I put that in the back burner. And but yeah, ultimately there's still, I'm not sure the exact number, but there's out of 50 of those boards, there's still probably a quarter of them left. So maybe like 10 to 15 left. And I have access to them. So if anyone's interested, feel free to let me know. And then when those are gone, we're going to do it all over again.
With a new design.
Yes. And I want to, when the new park comes to West Bend, I want to somehow see if we can do a collaboration with the board company, maybe the city or something, and the skate parks. He wants to sponsor kids and get them riding our boards, which would be super cool, And again, it's just cool when you can think of ways to give back to the community that you were brought up in, and then
a way to connect all the dots for that, I mean,
I try to,
it all seems to be so aligned for you.
I try to see the bigger picture, and until I see the bigger picture, I try to make the bigger picture and connect the dots and chase it. You do, the footwork,
Yes.
So it's all about how far you want to push the envelope, and I'm trying to push it as far as I possibly can. Another really, really cool thing, and this is going to be one of the coolest things I've got to do ever. This graphic
ever. Like this is like the culmination.
Yes.
Of the artistry.
I never would have thought I would even be considered to do this. So this canvas, Three Little Birds, a local author and her name is Krista Young. She wrote a book, a children's book, and one of her dreams is to get it published. So and initially I met her because I would post my art on some of the county pages and stuff, just to, I don't know, get the word out there in any format. And she wanted me to paint her piano stand because she wrote a song, and at the theater in West Bend, they did a citywide talent show where people can come showcase their talents, and she wanted my colors and all that on her piano stand, so she stood out. Well, she not only did a home run at the talent show, and she got front page in the newspaper, but from then we developed a friendship, and her and I work at the same pace. Some people, like when it comes to art, we work at different paces, and it's cool when you can find someone who just goes and goes and goes, and they want it, So we both, essentially, she had me illustrate a whole children's book, and it's not your basic ABCs. There's letters in it, but each letter, so the letter A has a poem to it, and the first letter of each poem has the letter A. And then to make it even more thematic, the very beginning of the book, this is the letter B. So it starts off like very early dawn, and then by the middle of the book it's lunch, and then by like endish of the book, it or 7/8 per se, it's dusk, nighttime, and then the very last letter is going to be where dawn and dusk cusp and collide essentially, and it just adds a whole another layer to the book, and I feel like it's going to be really different from a lot of children's books that I've read and saw growing up, I guess. And we're expecting to have it published and distributed in all the goods. It'll be in Barnes and Noble, Amazon. A lot of the places I've done work with said that they are going to buy the book and have it at their facility. One being the Sippy Hippie. They were one of my very first avenues to.
That's where I met you. It's actually through Josh at Sippy Hippie.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. The first time I went there, I saw some DNA. I got a buffer. Some of DNA Hemp's products. I'm like, whoa, what's that? And I got a hold of her. She would give you a lot of energy. I'm like, sweet. So
yes,
and that's how I met you. And then they let me design a coffee cup, and they made, I think it was 20 of them. He said he was baffled because they sold within a weekend, all of them. And I'm like, oh, for real? That's so wild. I didn't know what to expect really. And pretty much so that was really awesome, really helpful. And they said that with their new facility right across the street from Naya's Meat Market, I was there recently. I have art actually showcased there as of right now. But he said that they'd buy a book and have it showcased, and in the future we're going to be doing a paint sip event there too. Mm-hmm. And I'm really excited because it's so cool seeing more small business just keep growing, and how much they can accomplish. And they've grown a lot, even from when I knew them to in the number of years it's awesome.
Their energy is amazing. And
absolutely.
The fact that they have their own nonprofit, Middle Ground Connections.
That's so cool.
That helps, all types of special needs children get integrated in the community and use their gifts. I mean, I feel like their hearts are just amazing, and that just makes so much sense that you guys would be aligned and putting in the good work together.
It's awesome, and I'm so grateful for all the awesome connections, the people, all the wonderful people I've met, and very, very grateful. And it's cool when you can just see so much good in the world, but yeah, we're planning on having the book in our hands, published by early 26, February, March at the very latest. And we're already starting the next book, which I'm so excited because I did each illustration of the book on canvas. So over time,
A through Z.
Yep. And then even some, like on the very first page when you turn the cover, it's blank, but in the corner there's a praying mantis, because I love praying mantises. So pretty much we're all on canvases, so we can make calendars, or we can, if someone wants like a print of this per se, all right, done. That, and if the book takes off like we're hoping, each canvas the originals could be worth a lot of money, like a Dr. Seuss. But yeah, and I got really lucky because after this was done, I was doing about one canvas a night after, cause I have started working part-time with where my wife works at Blade's Barbershop as a receptionist, because, well, I can't be painting walls all the time. And,
oh man, one day.
Yeah, one day. But pretty much just another avenue where I can make money. And I love working there because our boss, she's very, very good to us. And she's a lovely lady. She actually is sponsoring Blade's Barbershop on 33 next to Sausage Plus. She is sponsoring my kids' class at Casa Guadalupe. So she's helping pay for the supplies and all that for the kids. And she gives back. My boss gives back a lot to the community as well.
Wow. Are you looking for sponsorships?
Yeah, pretty much any form of whoever wants to reach out. And if you want to sponsor, as of right now, I'm volunteering my time every Wednesday. Not We postponed it the past 2 weeks because there was a class where a couple of us got sick, and with the holidays coming, we don't want anyone to be out of a holiday. So we're going to start up again at the first of the year, and then it'll be weekly on a Wednesday. And saying that, if anyone wants to offer sponsorship, we'd be more than grateful. Again, Casa Guadalupe is such an awesome organization, and I love working with them. But yeah, so I started working there, and essentially, yeah. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. But yeah, with the book, I got really, really lucky, and the author let me have some input on ideas of what the next book is going to entail.
Mm-hmm.
And I am not. We're not like, it's not set in stone like what it's gonna for sure be, but the idea I gave her was really cool. I think a lot about bigger pictures of, I don't know, I was thinking about like, what is life, and so I'm like, what if chapter 1 we talk about and illustrate and depict like amoebas, right, the smallest of the small germs. Then chapter 2, segment 2, we go up scale the next thing, bugs, the next, and then you keep kind of going, like the turtle concept where, it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And then all of a sudden, towards the end of the book, we're in space talking about aliens. And if you want to get really sassy, we can like talk interdimensional, ghosts and spirits and energies. And I didn't know what she was going to think, if it was going to be too off the wall. But she was like, that's marvelous. I'm like, sweet. And it sounds like, since I was able to incorporate the praying mantis as essentially a mascot in the first book, in that very first page, where it's just a blank page and praying mantis, we're going to carry that through all of her books. Oh, I remember where I was going with the whole my job thing. So after work, I'll come home and not go to Canvas at night.
Oh yeah.
It's always the best when
circle back
when it finally boomerangs comes back. So after at the very end of it, between working and then I was juggling the book, work, the library mural, and I was kind of getting tired, and I was like looking forward to a break, right? But in the back of my head, I knew once I sat down and I wasn't doing anything, I was gonna hate it, because I always feel like I need to work. Always. But that's how you better yourself. If you don't keep pushing it, you're not gonna flourish. So
I know.
pretty much, I once the book was done with, or my part of it was done, I knew exactly how it was gonna go, and I'm like, I'm kind of sad now. That was so much fun. So it was sweet when she was like, this is only the first book. And I'm like, sign me up for another.
I'm in, and I got ideas.
Yeah. And I was really grateful and surprised that she gave me some input on like, what we could do for the next one. Should I show more canvases that I brought, you think?
Yeah. You definitely should, because these are pieces of this is like soul extensions. Hold on, before, like, when you're painting, I picture you might have headphones on, or like music is blaring.
So
you're drinking, you said your coffee is like your go-go, like Zen juice.
Coffee chills me out, and it's funny because a lot of people are the opposite with me. I'm just like, sweet, coffee, let's go take a nap. So if I'm like at home alone drawing, yeah, I'll have like Pink Floyd or Bob Marley, pretty much a lot of old music. I totally an old soul. But then
I feel that.
And then when I'm drawing or painting and my wife is home and we're, unwinding after a long day at work, we'll watch some TV. Recently, it's been, Kill Tony, comedy type stuff, or like we love watching the Adam Ray Dr. Phil. It's a comedian who dresses up as Dr. Phil and impersonates him, but like, kind of like PG-13. It's pretty funny. And then otherwise, we like watching ghost hunter type stuff. So on YouTube, it's called Sam and Kobe, and people go and like they did one. They went to the Conjuring house and they were like, I don't know, hunting ghosts. It was pretty cool.
Do you believe in ghosts?
Yeah, I believe in that. They're just like um, different dimensional beings that are strong enough to, well, pierce into our dimension and kind of like communicate, whether it's through random things or if they're just messing with you, or I feel like it's just energy that's strong enough to make an appearance, I guess.
It's an interesting way to put it. I like that.
Yeah, energy is everything, really.
Yeah.
I feel like if you have good, strong energy and you can amplify that and radiate it off yourself to the, you know, manifestations and thought makes life.
Mm-hmm.
And if you keep thinking about life and what you want to see in it and who you want to be in life, I feel like, you put off that right energy. And again, you got to be the change you want to see in the world. So I like to be the most positive, like bubbly, colorful energy that I can, because that's why the colors all kind of just come out of my brain and my soul and onto the canvas, because it's very easy to captivate that. And it's a lot of fun. And sometimes too, I see like all the different colors, like kind of like the chakras, and how it's a different part of your energy. And yes, and sometimes depending on my mood, I can tell by what colors I choose in my art too, and or like what I'm painting. You know, uh, I had to do a dog painting recently, which was super cool. It was for my old home ec teacher in middle school, which was a fluke, and it was for a dog who unfortunately passed away. But this dog was like the love of multiple people. Like they had a wake for this dog because of how amazing it was.
Wow.
And when she kind of gave me the backstory of it and kind of laid out the parameters of this is how the dog was, and the dog was very loved, I was able to kind of like put that into the art and figure out what shades of blue I wanted to use for the sky. And it's cool when you can have a backstory to something and kind of put that energy into it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so this is Space Jam, and it's like Monstars, and I love Space Jam, and I love Michael Jordan. And pretty much I do a lot of farmers markets and such, and I had a whole stockpile of canvases, but I paint so frequently that at the end of it all, I was pretty much giving away all my leftover canvases to all the connections and people that I've made over time, just giving my art away for free, because I like giving to people.
I could tell.
And I make them so fast that it doesn't matter to me. And so pretty much I was able to bring a handful of my best remains, I guess. So yeah, this is Space Jam. Monstars. I adore Space Jam. But
And you have it tattooed, right? You showed me you have like the Bugs Bunny
I got
on there.
Bugs Bunny, and then
which is a whole nother. So do you see yourself maybe one day being a tattoo art? Do you consider yourself a tattoo artist? And would you pursue that more, or what are your thoughts on that?
So I've tattooed myself, and I've done this one. I did not do. My buddy Ian did that.
That'd be really hard to do that.
I did a fraction of my own tattoos, and it was easy. Your tattoos will be as good as your stencil. And doing it on myself, I learned how to find that sweet spot of pressure where you're not, it's not horrible pain, but you're also going to make it stick. And I've tried to get an apprenticeship through places, but very expensive, and you're just kind of it's someone's mercy for however long they want. And I don't know, owning a house, I need to make money, so I was kind of thrown off the table, unfortunately. I know like you can get just licensing from the state, or like to cleanly handle the supplies, and then yeah, you could do it legally. But I would much rather have the backbone of experience, and but it's also hard because if you tell a tattoo artist that you already have done some, they kind of don't like to fix bad habits that you do unknowingly. So as much as it'd be cool for sure. Maybe over time, if I'm in a predicament where I can invest money and time into it. But until then, I it was like a winter hobby. I don't know. um, and then pretty much, so I have Space Jam, and then what else do I have?
This is my favorite. I just love this. I don't know if it's because of the cross and, it reminds me of the Van Gogh Starry Night.
Yeah. So
maybe like a fire.
Yeah.
The fire starting here and like I don't know.
I wanted to try to replicate a very classic, timeless piece, and Starry Night, out of all the Van Goghs, it's just, I don't know, it was so cool.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're looking at it from an artistic standpoint, this didn't seem very, very hard to do, the swirl. But after I started doing it, holy cannoli, it was quite intensive and super cool. And my wife, Nicole, she was like, please don't get rid of that. Can we please hang it up in the bedroom? I'm like, yes.
Yes, honey.
At first I was
it's like, a good husband.
At first I was like, oh, that's gonna sell so fast. But then it grew on me,
and you're like,
I love seeing it every night and every morning.
Like, I'm sometimes like that with the products, like all the work that goes into it and the intention. I sometimes have a hard time letting it go, and I'm like, why? Don't do that to yourself. But I get it. I get the artistry behind it.
I don't do. I mean, I can do faces, and now that I have a whole new color palette to use, it's very helpful. But this, I'm very surprised this one hasn't sold yet. This is Michael Jordan. I absolutely love this canvas. It's cool because it says I did a bunch of colors, and then it says Michael Jordan, and then there's some skyscrapers and such like Chicago. And in saying this, uh, definitely one of the best faces I've ever made in my life, and it was a very proud moment. But I'm like not upset it hasn't sold because this is like one of my favorites. I refuse to give it away.
He's like, no, this one will be paid for. I get that. It's like the energy exchange, right?
That, and just like for the longest time, I just felt like faces were kind of like my struggle. So after I was able to really do good with that one, I'm like, you're not going anywhere. One of the most popular commission topics I get is like pets and stuff. And my cousin from Green Bay, he had me do his dog, and he wanted more of the Rasta type vibe. So I did, well, the Rasta colors, kind of like in the background with the palm trees. But yeah, recently I've had a lot of dog commissions, which is sweet. I love painting dogs, and I did one cat commission the other night, which was the first one I've actually done ever. And it was a really good time. When I was at stay there. When I was at the Humane Society, I had a lot of different animal graphics already like made, and I wasn't doing anything with them. So I offered and I donated multiple animal graphics that they could merchandise and like do whatever they want with. So I gave them the physical and the digital copies. And I told them, like, if you guys ever want to do fundraisers and make any form of graphics, or take my graphics and put it on anything, like it's yours.
It gave him the liberty.
Yes, because it was an awesome experience. And again, I just like to give away it sometimes because
Well, it's getting your work out there.
yeah,
Get it into more hands and
yeah, absolutely.
conversation pieces, and they're going to tell their friends, and their friends are going to tell their friends, and then before you know it, you're making new friends.
Yeah. It's very mind-boggling too because I am kind of like I'm slightly introverted on most days, but then some days I'm like I want to go be extroverted and be very social. But like usually, especially previously, I was very like introverted. So like it was kind of unbelievable to me how many cool people and wonderful friends I made in such a small amount of time, and um, well, it's just very like awesome. And I don't know, for a minute previously, I'm 31 now, so it's kind of hard to make friends at this age because everyone's usually doing their own thing, whatever. So it's really cool being able to meet a lot of new people that are just nice and want to share my art with me, I guess.
Yes, absolutely. Well, I remember you at Cheryl's Club. You
Yeah.
came and did the 420 party.
Yeah. And that was after the CB Hippie, that was the very next thing that I was able to do. And that was an awesome opportunity because um, it was like a art night type thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it was the very first opportunity I had to actually set my art up and sell it, like prints and such.
What? Really?
Yeah.
I think I bought them all. You had like little mini ones.
Yeah.
And that reminds me, I don't know where they're around here somewhere. We like kind of recently moved into this space. So
Sweet.
I cannot wait to uncover those and get those up on the wall.
Yeah,
Those are OGs. Those are originals.
yeah, I pretty much I would I was trying to figure out ways to be different, but yet be traditional in getting my art out there in prints and such. But I didn't want to be like plain Jane, but then also I didn't want to spend a ton of money either. So I ended up making like I figured out a way to make full sheet prints, but on their stickers.
Yeah.
And I figured it's different because, well, you can frame it if you wanted to. If you had like a toolbox, you can stick it right on there. And it's a pretty good size sticker. And I was able to figure out a way to keep the cost down to where it's not much more than it would cost to get a print made. So I can still sell them for relatively the same cost. And I just feel like it's more of a multi-tool than just a singular like, you know, print, I guess, or like it has multiple purposes, I guess. But yeah, it's all I don't know. I like to try to be different and just find ways to be slightly I don't know, it's just
Cutting edge.
yeah, to stand out, I guess.
I know at Cheryl's we have your cannabis leaf that you did. It's one of my favorite pieces in the joint.
Sweet.
I absolutely love it. And every time, I think what's really awesome is every time that I view it and when I'm there, it just brings a smile because of that experience that you created there with people and having that connection. And I think you did it there, right? You like
Yeah.
it was a live painting.
Yeah, I was able to just sit there and I made it there. Unfortunately, that was when I was using like permanent marker and not like acrylics. So like over time, it unfortunately kind of faded. But now with all my canvases, I use acrylic paint, so it does not fade, and it stays very vibrant for a lot longer. Forever, I want to say yes, but I don't want to give away bad information because I haven't been around for forever yet. So but I know that it definitely prolongs the um, quality of how the colors remain. But sometimes sunlight's kind of unavoidable. So, but yeah, for when I started painting my murals, the indoor ones, I was using like paint markers, which was really cool, a lot less mess. So when I did that vape store, I was able to tell the guy, like, you don't have to move all your product because it was a lot of product to move. And I was able to paint right around it, no mess. But now that I'm doing bigger pieces and whatever, I've been using brush and paint and been able to really make different shades of colors and have fun with all that. And it's just cool being able to grow as an artist and how I execute what I do, I guess, and just getting better at different medias. Because before this, I didn't even touch a paint and brush until a couple months ago, and now I'm getting a lot better at it, and I feel a lot more confident.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all about an order of operation too. Um, you can either watch paint dry, or while you're waiting, you can be efficient and start on a different piece of the project over here. And when you're done with that, you can go back over here and do touch ups or whatever you're waiting on. And then, um, just efficiently using your time. Um, but yeah, it's been a crazy ride.
I love it. And that's just like one piece of the puzzle here of the how you give back and share your gifts and network with people. I also wanted to kind of talk about your foraging, because that is something that's like near and dear to my heart. And you brought me this super special gift, and I know like people go nuts over these.
Yes.
Does anyone know what they are? I don't know if they can. Woo! Dun, 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 dun. The morchella.
So they're morel mushrooms.
Mm-hmm.
In springtime, I absolutely adore thawing myself out in the woods, and yeah, pretty much from like May to June. If you need me, I'm in the woods. This year was my very, very, very best year, and I ended up finding, oh man, more than 10 pounds, and it was definitely my best year at enough to dehydrate them, because I was bringing so many home. It was getting to the point where I'm like, I don't even want to eat these right now, So I was able to dehydrate them, sit on a bunch. I brought a lot to my bachelor party that we cooked up with some steaks.
Yeah, because wait, hold on. In between all this artistry and you like popping off with these projects, you've gotten married.
Yes.
And had the wedding.
We actually had the rehearsal dinner at Cheryl's Club.
What?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I wasn't there.
Yeah, you were.
I was?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I was there, but I was not there. Oh yes.
Yeah, it was
nice. Actually, I do remember that.
October 10th.
Yes. Wow.
At the time, though, like I was like dealing with the stress of the upcoming wedding and everything going properly, so I didn't really say too much, because I just had my mind was also in a different place, just hoping everything went well and smooth the next day. But no. Yeah,
I think I was able to connect with Nicole.
Yes.
A little bit for there, and kind of get pick her brain about how is her wedding feelings and how she was, if they were all prepared, and she seemed really positive, just like you. I love that you guys probably rub off on each other.
Oh, absolutely.
What a great union.
Yeah, it's awesome when you can find someone that not only supports your like what you're trying to do and accomplish,
mm-hmm.
but she's my biggest advocate. Pretty much, she wants me to just keep pushing it, and at times, or it's not always going to be peaches. Like it's sometimes you can get in a predicament where you feel hopeless and you want to give up, but she's one of the voices in my head that's like, no, you're not going to give up. And even if you talk about it, she'll get mad at me. So she helps me push myself to keep manifesting positivity even when you get knocked off the tracks for a second.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm pretty good at grounding myself and just staying positive and manifesting and praying, but we're not all perfect, and we can't always have our head and be in cloud nine. So it's cool when you can have someone be that backbone, that reassurance of smile.
Yes, to ground you like that, and
exactly.
Especially when you're in that creative space, I feel like sometimes you can. It's very ethereal, right? Like you can be out there, and she's probably like, "Come back down," and let's focus.
Yeah, sometimes.
Bless her heart, she's an angel.
She helps me. She helps reel me back in for sure. And
Is she out in the woods with you?
I try to get her to go with me, but it's understandable. Lyme's disease is a pretty scary thing.
Yeah.
I wear, even though it's at that time of the year, it's getting warmer out. I always wear. I bought some Nike sweatpants previously that are like very bright blue, and after I bought them, I'm like, I don't even want to wear these. So I'll either paint them when I'm doing murals and such, or I'll wear them in the woods along with I got a bright green long sleeve so I can see when ticks are on me.
Ah, that way. I was like, why the bright color so you can spot them.
But now I have long hair, and she has long hair because she's a girl.
She's a bodacious babe.
Yeah, and pretty much. So she's kind of like, I believe me, she knows how much I love doing it because I come home and I'm always ecstatic. But no, ticks are scary, and I don't blame her, especially the fact that we have to be very careful with our fur babies because, Lyme's disease is very scary.
It's fun to bring them out there, though.
Oh yeah, but when I go out there, pretty much I go off the path a lot because, when you go in uncharted areas, that's when you find the honey holes, and that's where you find an abundance of morels in one spot. And
that's the trick, hey? Give us a couple tips and tricks, quick.
All right. You really twisted my arm on this one. One of the most easy tricks is everyone's always dead elms. Yes, you are totally correct. Kudos. But they also like a lot of different species of tree. It's a lot to do with the mycelium and that the tree has, and there's mycelium networks through every living thing on the earth. And if we could depict how big the mycelium network is, it literally goes to every single tree, every single thing that's living in the ground. And
like 300 miles underneath your feet, your footprint, right?
Yes.
300 miles below runs the deep mycelium network.
Is one of the strongest living things in existence.
Kingdoms.
Yes.
And
it's
got its own kingdom, right? For crying out loud.
Yeah. And it's really wild because essentially when trees are just starting to die and when the leaves are blooming on the trees, the most easiest tip is you can tell a dying tree by not having any buds blooming on the branches. So at the time, all the healthy trees are starting to produce little blooms, and especially early morel season, one of the things that people say is when I forgot what tree it is, but when when the leaves are the size of mouse ears, go out in the woods. So if you see a tree that's not blooming, it's freshly dying or it is dying. And then the morel is, I like to think, is the fruiting body is a distress signal from the tree saying, "Hey, I'm dying, help me," but you can't really help it. But so that's really easy trick because identifying tree bark and leaf shapes can be very overwhelming, especially when trees have different subspecies and different whatever. What else?
I agree. When the lilacs are blooming,
yes,
it's time to go shrooming.
I wanted to say lilacs, but I didn't want to say the wrong thing. That sounds stupid.
I got you, bro.
Thank you. Another really cool trick is early season, you want to look on south-facing slopes because that's where the sun will hit first. And when the ground gets to the low to middle 50s, like 53 to 7, excuse me, coffee. Pretty much they'll start popping up, and the first directional slope is south that gets to that temperature. Then it goes to the west, all the way to north, and then east will be the very, very, very last. But it all goes by temperature of the ground. So at the very end of the season, that's when you go in the woods, the very deep of the woods where all the foliage is, because that's the very last part of the terrain that gets warm because of the shade. And every other spot is already past the temperature mark. So, yeah, it's all about timing ultimately, and knowing when to look. Because previous years, I would go to spots that I knew had morels, but I go at the wrong time, and I would walk out upset or like distraught and feel like I wasted my time and energy. But then this past year, I went to the same spots at a different time, and holy cannoli, I walked out with a big bag full, and they're monstrous. It was sweet.
You got to get out there and get after it. I feel like they don't find themselves.
No,
That's for sure.
when it comes to, well, anything that I'm interested in, whether it's art, uh, foraging morels, or anything, because I did a lot of research to get the knowledge I have for the morels and a lot of footwork. When I have interest in something, it's it's very easy for me to just like keep pushing the envelope and wanting to become the best at it, because, well, it's just rewarding. And um, no matter how good you are at something, I feel like you can always be better and improve. And it's even with artwork, it's so cool seeing. Sometimes I'll look back at, or I'll find old art pieces that I've done in the past year or so, and at the time I'm like, dude, game changer, you know. But now I'll look at it and be like, what was I doing, you know? And
It's funny how that works.
yeah, you know, just growth. I like to just keep growing my art style and not doing the same thing over and over again. Because even though, yeah, it's cool to have certain traits where people can look at something and know Jeff did that, you know, or whatever, having that like, that trait that makes it intuitive of people know where it came from, if they know your work or whatever. But in the same breath, I don't want to be a one trick pony either, you know. So balance.
Well, no, you definitely have a style all of your own, and I'm a huge fan.
Thank you.
And I love you taking the time today and kind of letting us in your brain of that creative genius and sharing your gifts. That's so special.
Oh man, it was a privilege to be here. And like, I this was the first podcast I was ever on, so I was like excited and nervous. I mean, I know I shouldn't have been nervous, but you know, just when you're I get so excited for things, and then my brain, it's just like a mouse on a wheel, you know, going.
Well, you did great. You nailed it, Jeff. And I can't wait to have you on again and talk even more sweet, awesome things. I know you're not a one-trick pony, and you have a lot of gifts to share. So
I try.
Appreciate you, man. You're a rock star in your own right.
Thank you. I
Much
appreciate
love.
it.
Go follow him. What's that Instagram handle?
@Killa, KILLA BEE, all one word, 1026. Killa B 1026.
That's high vibing, man. I appreciate you. Thank you so much.